What is up, Teach Better family? Happy Labor Day to you. Hopefully you're relaxing, chilling out, resting up, and recharging for the week ahead of you. My name is Jeff, and I'm here with our good friends Elijah and Tracy, and we're talking all about the Teach Better 2022 Teach Better Conference. These two amazing educators are speaking there, and we're going to dive in a little bit about what they're going to be talking about, why you might want to consider attending their sessions, and if you're not already planning, why you should probably come to the conference and hang out with us. So stick around, drop in the comments, let us know what you're doing. What are you doing to relax this week? Are you excited about the conference? And if you have any questions, you can drop there as well. We'll be back in about, 15, 20 seconds. All right, we are back, and we are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Well, I did not say that in the right order, and Ray's going to yell at me. I thought I had it. I didn't. I'm excited to be here talking with Elijah and Tracy. So excited that you two could jump on and join us and sharing I know your excitement. We were talking before about the excitement about the conference in your sessions and what to expect. So we're going to dive into that, and we're going to get into all things conference talk. But before we get too far into that stuff, let's start with who the heck are you? And why are you here? And so anybody who is not connected to you yet, I want to make sure that they understand who you are and where you're coming from. So let's go to Tracy first, and then Elijah. Just give us a quick rundown of who you are, where you're at, what you do in education, and we'll kind of run from there.
So professionally, I'm Tracy Taylor. I kept my maiden name after marrying Elijah. So you'll find me as Tracy Taylor. I like to call it the science of creativity, but I'm a visual arts and design teacher at Garfield STEM Middle School. So I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I am an artist working in education, so I'm not just a teacher. This is my 22nd year in teaching. I have my own art business outside of teaching. I have contributed to best-selling books. I'm also an activist in our community, so yeah. And then I met this guy teaching.
Yes.
And we ended up being married.
Yeah. Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
So you taught at the same school? Is that how you met?
We
okay.
Did. So I was a 4th grade teacher, and she was the art teacher at that school. Mm-hmm. So that's how we met. So yeah. But
just like some office rumors that ended up being true.
Yes.
All right, so then Elijah, tell us about you now.
Yeah, so I'm Elijah Carbajal. I'm in my 9th year of teaching. Done it all here in New Mexico, just a couple different districts. Let's see, I'm a reading interventionist right now, Title I reading interventionist over at a small school here in Albuquerque. And I'm also a contributing author to some books, and then I'm publishing I'm not publishing, EduMatch Publishing is publishing my book, which should be coming out sometime this fall, pretty soon here. And just talked to Sarah from EduMatch today, and really excited. We're getting close to that release date, and so be on the lookout for that. I also host a podcast called Shut Up and Teach. You can find it on just about every major platform, including Apple, Spotify, and now Amazon. So yeah.
Awesome. I see. I'm not going to overlook the fact that I see that you're repping another awesome podcast on your shirt there. There's our punk rock classroom.
We love the punk rock guys.
Great to hear. Great to see. Yeah. And we love our EduMatch family over there, Sarah and the whole team and all that. And it's awesome. So we're going to get to the conference, but now my mind's going other places. So Elijah, I want to give you a moment. Can you give us like the quick rundown of the book and what that is going to be about?
Yeah, for sure. So the title of the book is A Place They Love, Creating Healthy School Culture and Impact. I had to think of that. Impacting students in a positive way. So, I started blogging right after the first Teach Better conference, and just kind of noticed this common theme running through it of like, do what you can to make school fun, to make it engaging, exciting, safe, all these things. And then it kind of led me to this idea of like, just make it a place that kids love to be at. Right. And so, wrestled with the idea of like, do I write a book? Do I just keep blogging about this? What do I do? And I asked Tracey, who, we were dating at the time, and just asked her, what do you think about this? Am I crazy? And she said, no, go for it. So, pitched to a couple different, different publishing companies, then was, picked up by EduMatch Publishing, and just super fascinated and thrilled to be working with them. But the book itself is going to contain different, principles and different truths that I believe are timeless. It's not just fad based, like, I remember the big example was like, we don't want something where you're talking about a lesson with fidget spinners, because those are going to be out or are out. So the ideas in here, I believe, are timeless, and they work for every educator, whether you're in student teaching first year or, a veteran teacher. I believe that they'll work for you and can revolutionize your teaching. So
I've already read it. It's so good.
I was gonna say, you probably know a little bit about it, huh? And that's super exciting. That's awesome. Congrats again on that. That's really cool. We're looking forward to celebrating that with you when it comes out. So let's talk now. Let's go to why we're here, which is to talk about the conference. So let's talk about the conference. I'm curious to know. So you both presented separately, different sessions. Yes. So I'm curious to know what your topic of the title of your presentation is, and then give us like the commercial of like what to expect, who's it for, like why you're excited to present it. So that the goal here is so that everybody's watching gets an idea of what to expect, and hopefully comes to your sessions and packs the room. So Elijah, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Actually, you know what? I just let you talk about your book. We're going to go to Tracey first. It's okay.
I was just going to say they're both on the same date, but Elijah's is early. It's the first day of the conference, and Elijah's is at 9:30.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
So mine's 9:30, and it's a short TED Talk. The 20-minute kind of presentation. My topic is actually about branding your classroom to create community and inclusivity. So this idea of branding, I actually, obviously I'm a big Teach Like a Pirate fan. Dave Burgess follower and all that. That book definitely revolutionized the way that I teach, for sure. And I have to thank Tracey again for putting that one in my hands.
Yeah.
But and so I took kind of in paying homage to him, I guess, in that book, I kind of adopted this pirate, persona, I guess, or whatever, and started teaching in that way. And then when I became a reading interventionist, I really wanted to take it to the next level and really create something, where my kids would really love to be in my classroom. One of the things about reading intervention is that, in talking to kids and overhearing kids, they know their deficits, and a lot of them know I'm in this class because I'm a struggling reader. I'm learning to read, and I'm, a little behind everybody else. But creating that branded classroom of this is the pirate ship. In fact, I don't even call it my classroom. I just say, let's go to the pirate ship. When I pick up my kids, they're not, all right, students. It's like, hey, pirates, it's time to go sail away. Let's go. And, even down to the language of, routines and procedures, it doesn't sound like a classroom. We don't say line up. We say things like X marks the spot. So the branding goes beyond just creating, with decorations and, flexible seating. And it goes beyond a theme into this community of like, we're all together in this, we're all pirates on this ship, and we're all learning at the same, in the same ways.
Yeah. I love that, and Elijah, as a entrepreneur and business guy for most of my life, the word Brandon gets me, and you summed it up perfectly in the way that you talk about that, because a lot of times we think of brand and we think logo, color scheme, stuff like that. But a true brand, what your brand actually is the emotional connection someone has to that logo or that color scheme, whatever. And what I'm hearing is the same thing in your classroom. Like there are tools you use, like the way you decorate your classroom, the intentionality you have with posters on the wall or whatever.
Right.
But the true brand of your classroom is how kids feel about your classroom.
Yeah,
they get it right. And so it goes beyond just saying X marks the spot, but it's just this entire community that you're building inside your classroom, that it's the way kids know when they walk in there, it's different.
It's different.
This is our pirate ship. This is our classroom. And I love that.
Yeah, and the kids get kind of territorial about it too. There was an instance where I was pushing into a classroom and working directly with one of the students that I pull out, And the student next to them said, "Hey, when can I come to your class?" And I was about to respond with, "Well, it doesn't kind of work that way, you know," but she responded with, "You can't, that's our class. Like, that's our class. You can't, you haven't been invited yet." So even down to like, you know, stuff like that, where it really becomes personal to them. And it's like, this is mine, you know? And so they do take ownership of it as well.
Awesome.
And it saves their dignity. Like in the conversations that you have with the kids, it saves their dignity in that they're not going for help. It's special. Like it's really
it shifts the narrative around that they have with themselves and internally and stuff. And I love that. Right. So that's so cool. That's really cool. And just to be clear, we call those Teach Better Talks, not TED Talks.
Teach Better Talks.
You have to tell me more about this.
Royalties.
You have to tell me about this Dave Burgess guy sometime. He sounds cool. I have to get to know him sometime. All right, Tracey, so let's talk about your session now as well. So give us sort of the deep dive into
after Elijah's session, my session's on the same day, and I think it's at 10:30.
I think it is,
And it's one of the longer sessions because I'm verbose and I need that time. But I am going to be talking, the title of my session is Engineering for Creativity. So as a visual arts teacher, I work with project-based learning all the time. And I have learned how to infuse project-based learning into my grids, where I can literally teach you using the engineering design process, which has 6 steps, to infuse project-based learning into your grids, either as assessment at the end. Like there are times when I'll put a project in after like level 1 of my grid. And so then they'll go through that 6-step process for like assessment on using the stuff from level 1. Where it becomes really impactful is after that level, as at that level 4 and after into almost a level 5 extension. So, but it's really easy. Because the design step process takes you through it. And it's just about, and there's going to be specific time in my session where we can sit down and really talk about, okay, how do math teachers do this? Because like, it's one thing to do an art project, but like, how do you do it for algebra? And I have really great ideas for that. So it's creativity and project-based learning for everyone.
And I'm sorry, what's a grid?
What's a grid? You don't know what a grid is?
No, So what because I haven't heard you talk on this before. So when you do it at the end of a level, it becomes like essentially the mastery check for the entire level. Is that what you're doing with it? Oh, that's cool. That's neat. And I love that you're already solving the problem, because one of the most common questions is like, oh, that's cool in this subject, but what about my subject? Right. And it doesn't matter what it is. If we show it in math, it's like, well, yeah, it's great, but what about science? We show them a science, well, what about math? And what about so I love that you're already doing that, because that's a barrier that is a reasonable barrier. Good question to have. So
well, and it's one of the things that my own school struggles with. We're a STEM school. And one of the expectations is that we do use the engineering design process, and that we do project-based learning. And so that same pushback is in my very own school. How do I as a math teacher do that? How do I as a reading teacher do that? How do I do that in writing? How do I do that in PE? Like, how do I do that in music? And so after working with some engineering coaches, they were like, you know, you do this really well. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm the art teacher. Like this is my world. And she said, if we could figure out a way where it would be easier for other teachers, then we might strike gold with this. So I'm going to roll some dice and toss it out there and see what it looks like at Teach Better to even help my own school.
I'm sure you're going to love the venue, because it is a STEM school.
I saw that.
Well, that's a really cool STEM school.
Are there going to be kids there? Are there going to be teachers there? Are there going to be people there other than Teach Better? Like, I have questions. I might want to visit.
Maybe. So you will get to meet, if you choose to, the teachers at that school, and the principal will be there. Actually, you know, Chelsea Nicolino, who's one of our ambassadors, it's her school. So if you want any questions, you can reach out to Chelsea. You can share all about it. But yeah, there will be quite a good majority of their staff will be there, as well as Anna Morgan, who leads the team there, and they're amazing there. And it's a really cool building. So it used to be the National Inventors Hall of Fame. So it's got some really cool architecture to it, and we're super excited. Like and
I'm
obviously
stoked.
yes.
Like
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I'm stoked. I'm excited. And I feel like too, like making that connect. That's why that question was so big for me, is making that connection to another STEM school that gives me somebody to collaborate with, because I'm kind of an island by myself. Like I'm the only art teacher. And when you look at even just what I'm doing with the other art teachers in our district, like I'm different. And so like,
so I love this about your session, because it's you're presenting the answers that you discovered to all the questions that you've already had about the grid, which is really cool. And just so you know, so you're aware, that school, there's a lot of grids in that school. So there are plenty of STEM teachers in there that know all about it and love it. So that's super cool.
Different for us too. Like, so we stick out not only in our districts. Like we're in a big district now at Albuquerque. We were in a small district before when we went to Teach Better before. But literally there's three in 2019, there were just the two of us from New Mexico. And I was the only art teacher there. Yeah. And then now I think this year there's three of us. It's Elijah, me, and Eli Cassell.
Eli's coming from New Mexico too.
Eli's coming from Albuquerque. But yet I still don't see a whole lot of like art, music, PE teachers. So actually one of our keynotes is a music teacher. What?
So Mickey Smith Jr. is he's a band teacher. Okay. Well, you know, our Joshua Stamper, he's an art teacher. Before he was an assistant principal, he was an art teacher.
I'm a fan.
And
I really want to connect Tracey to Josh.
I'm a fan, and
he's
sure like on my list of like people I want to go like. Okay,
he's very elusive. You got to keep an eye out. Josh is always like ducking and hiding us. You come find me. I will track him down.
He's gonna be busy.
He's gonna be busy with Podcasters Row. Right?
He is. Well, but you'll know where to find him. He's at Podcasters Row, which is really easy to find, because it's like right by registration. So like, you can't miss Podcasters Row. So you'll be able to tackle him there.
So I have a list for Elijah to be my wingman. So like, I need to be introduced to these people. But then we have other people that we've connected. We're like, oh, we know that person. We'll go introduce you. So like, we're wingmen for other people. Networking is going to be super fun.
Who's on the list? Let's just do this live right now. Who's on the list? We're going to set it up. We're going to make sure it happens.
I'm gonna forget somebody if I start talking.
That's okay.
We're gonna tell you who my top three are.
No one's gonna get offended.
I can tell you who my top three are.
Oh, top three. Oh, she's doing
First of all, Josh Stamper, because he was an art teacher.
Okay. And I know a guy who knows a guy who knows Josh Stamper, so we'll make that happen.
Second of all, I have to hug around the neck very tightly, Becky Schnecksker style.
That sounds a little bit like
Dr.
choking.
Dave Burgess, I need to hug him.
Who? Dave Burgess?
Not Dave Burgess. Dave Schmittou.
Dave Burgess is going to be there as well.
We've met Dave.
We met Dave Burgess.
Dave Burgess will be there, and we will have the other. We call him the other Dave.
The other Dave.
Dave Schmittou will be there as well, so we can make that happen.
I need to hug around the neck. Like,
thankfully, Dave Burgess knows Dave Schmittou, so Dave Burgess can introduce you to Dave Schmittou. Then.
No more Teach Better guys named Dave.
Yeah, that's
we've reached our cap limit. The third person I want to see is Rick Jetter.
Rick, oh yeah, Rick's.
I'm
excited to meet Rick in person too.
I sent him a message the other day. I want to shake your hand. I want to hug your neck. I want to buy a round, like even if it's like root beer floats, popsicles, whatever.
I love it.
First round's on me. Okay, so I don't know if Ohio does salsa and chips. Like
salsa and chips.
Salsa and
chips.
It's
a thing here. We eat chips and salsa here.
No, we eat chips and salsa.
I'm pretty sure that goes all over.
We're from New Mexico.
We're from New Mexico.
My guess is that your salsa is probably better, and maybe it has a little more kick to it.
We're very skeptical when it comes to
that, and that's okay. But yes,
do I need to pack a jar of salsa?
I want you to come up and give a fair rating of Ohio salsa, because then I'll know what I've been eating my whole life, whether it's actually legit or not. Because we are big chips and salsa fans here in my house, so so I'll be interested to see you. I don't know where I'm trying to think where we're going. Whether they have, I'm sure they have chips and salsa, but I don't know that I've had any of the networking events chips and salsa.
It's okay.
You got me very worried about the chips and salsa experience here.
Telling you, I'll eat a popsicle in the grass with Rick Jetter.
I love it. Elijah, you don't have to divulge names. I know
Yeah.
you worry about her, but like any of the sessions that I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at the schedule, anybody's sessions or anything that has popped out to you, like, well, that's one. You don't have to say them all, but like that's one that I'm definitely going to see. That's one person I definitely have to go see talk.
So I am forgetting the names, but I can remember the name of the sessions.
Oh,
there's a couple people. Well, first of all, there are some people that I do want to meet. So,
okay.
I want to meet Josh Buckley.
Yes.
The other half of the punk rock class.
Yep.
I've met Mike. He was there at the last conference, but I haven't met Josh Buckley yet. So I want to meet Josh Buckley. I want to meet Melissa Hayes.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
this is awesome.
I can't remember if I signed up for her presentation or not. But I had the chance to visit with her second grade class a while back. So getting to meet her would be really awesome. And then, there's more people I could go on and on, but I'll talk about there's two specific workshops that I want to go to. And one of them, and again, I'm forgetting their names, but it has to do with hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. That's, oh gosh. Miles.
I'm forgetting his name.
I'm sorry, Miles.
We're sorry, Miles. I'm looking it up right now. I will find it.
So that session, there's 3 of them, and they've got like beatboxing going on, rapping going on, talking on. It's going to be like a party in that session. It's going to be really cool.
Yes, very excited for that one. And I'm also looking forward to how the hell do we motivate these students?
Yes.
Who's that?
And she's looking at her phone right now. She's trying to find.
Are you on Sketch, the official?
I'm on Sketch.
She's on Sketch.
If you come to the conference, make sure you get in the Sketch.
We need to find out who these people are, because I want to go to their.
I love that we're doing this live right now.
I want to go to their workshop and meet these people, but I need to know their names first.
That's good. Now your book will not be out in time, right? Or maybe not.
I don't know. I'm not. Not entirely sure yet.
We have like 40 or 50 titles that are going to be in the bookstore.
Wow.
Too, like a lot of books. It's going to be really cool.
So I spoke with Dave Schmitto about that, and we worked something out, I think, to where if it's not released yet,
might be able to do some pre-orders.
Yeah, like pre-orders.
Okay, very cool. Nice. So, very cool. Well, I'm gonna let Tracey.
I cannot.
That's okay. We just know that we're excited to go. We're going to 10 sessions.
Oh, gotcha.
And if you're watching, you're listening, you're coming, there's 2 great sessions on Friday with Elijah and then Tracey. Not at the same time, so you don't have to pick between the 2 of them. We're not going to do that. So you can attend. It's going to be awesome. Both sound really great. I know you guys are going to be everywhere the whole time, hugging, shaking hands, high-fiving at the networking event, so I'm super excited. Are you coming in Thursday? So you're there Thursday evening?
No. We're coming in Wednesday night.
Oh, you really? You can be there all Thursday?
So
just going to restaurant to restaurant.
Kind of our anniversary.
Really? Yeah. So you're going to celebrate your anniversary on.
Okay.
Let's just take a return.
Really quick.
So when we went to Teach Better 2019, that was kind of like we had been hanging out and we had taught together, but it was kind of like, oh, I like you.
Oh, so like this happened at the conference?
Yes, we literally got together at Teach Better 2019. Like we became.
You are kidding me?
No,
this is the best news ever. It happened
at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I misread the dates and booked us for a day early, but then realized, oh, we have a day. Let's do something. She wanted to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and. Yeah.
Now, to be clear, at this point, we was like you two as friends, as coworkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right, go on.
And so we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and like they had listening booths and like this really cool acoustics. Like I love this place. It was, and I am a 90s kid. Let's just be honest. I walk in and it's this thing about one-hit wonders, and I was like, oh, so this is my song. I pushed the button before he could even say anything. And REM's Losing My Religion came on. And I literally started singing it. And it was like my jam. And he was like, oh my gosh, like, who are you? then we walked around the corner and they had an Elvis display that's playing Suspicious Minds, which is my favorite Elvis song ever. And then we were on our way to the Beatles room, which is what he really wanted to see. And like by the time we got to the Beatles, it was kind of like, yeah, we like the same music. And then he would say things like, oh, let me turn my music off. And I'm like, why? I like that. Like, that's The Offspring. Please fast forward to track number 3. Like, you know what I mean? So like, Elijah is musical and music is very important. So for the sheer fact that I loved music and loved some of the same music, and then he took me to my first heavy metalcore show, which I can't wait to tell Mike and Josh Buckley about. Like, I want to be on the podcast and tell that story about Elijah taking me to my first metal show.
And who was that?
We Fit for a King and Hollow Front, and it was
nice.
Very screamy.
Yeah, that's metal. Yeah.
So by the time we got back from Teach Better 2019, it was a done deal. We were a couple.
This is so cool. I'm so happy that I got to go live with you today and find that out.
We were laughing when we were on with Schmitto when was that, last summer?
Yeah.
Or summer before last. We were laughing that we're like the first Teach Better couple. Like, we're a couple because of Teach Better. And then we got married 6 months ago. We got married on February 2nd, 2022 at 2 o'clock. Kissed at 2:22.
No kidding. That's
so now
cool.
We're newlyweds. So going back, we have to like.
So you're coming in and going to the Hall of Fame?
So we're gonna go to the Hall of Fame on Thursday. We wanted to come in for Thursday's networking thing.
Yep.
And then Sunday, our flight leaves super late, like a red-eye flight.
Yeah.
So I conned Elijah into letting me go to the art museum.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
I didn't really con. I asked.
Okay.
I was like, "Can we go to the art museum?" Like,
I love it.
Yes to that one.
I love it. I love it. This is awesome. So, hey, if you haven't made the decision to come to the conference, you might want to. You might just find the love of your life there or realize that it was right on your nose. That's such a cool story. So that's awesome. I'm so glad you guys are coming in. You're going to be there for Thursday. Clearly going to be there for Saturday because it sounds like you have some time. So that's awesome.
We're there for the whole thing and extra.
Everyone, don't book your flight for Saturday. Book it sometime Sunday so you can stay out with us all Saturday night because we don't stop after the last session on Saturday. That's where we like have fun the rest of the night. So that's exciting. Awesome.
Yeah. So we're excited that we like got it booked properly this time, but also like it really is like special to us for us to be there. Who would have thought? Like
super cool.
Right. So
yes.
And we've met so many people and we're connected to so many people that like we need that much time in order to spend with all of these people. Like we have to sit down and talk to Mike and Becky and, you know, all of our friends from before and not just like it. I don't want it to feel like speed dating. You know what I mean? Like,
we got lots of time Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. We got lots of time.
I want to be able to spend quality time with our Teach Better family because you guys are so important to us.
Oh, well, and so are you to us. And now, like, this is just a whole new level with this whole story. It's blowing my mind. I'm super excited. I was already excited, but I'm even more excited now. So this is super cool. So that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that with us. So glad to have you coming out and having you both speak and share your awesomeness with other people. That's really what it's all about. And then all the hanging out and hugging and high-fiving and everything, like, that's what our community is about. So I love it. I love that you're part of it. If you are not yet registered, go to teachbetterconference.com. You can see all the speakers lined up there, the lineup of the sessions, and make sure you get your ticket and come hang out with us. Whether you can come for one day, both days, or show up like 3 days early like these two. Whatever it is, we want you to come out and hang out with us. So please do that. Tracey, Elijah, I really appreciate you taking some time with me today and sharing the stories and getting into it and stuff, and that you're coming out and sharing your experiences and your value that you have to share with other educators. So I hope we can go out and impact more kids. So truly, truly appreciate you both. And hopefully we'll see all you watching in October. We're down to like 50 days away, less than 50 days. I think we're like 40 something right now.
Don't even say that because like
it's
We're working.
Oh, I'm feeling a little bit of that too.
We're
Don't
working
worry.
on polishing presentations, but I'm in the middle of coaching volleyball too. So it's all like this next 5 weeks is going to be.
It's going to blow by, and we're going to be here. I love it.
Light a candle for me.
Well, I appreciate you two so much. I appreciate everyone watching, and we'll see you in October. TeachBetterConference.com. See you guys. Appreciate you.
So right now, I want to know if you're ready to teach better.
That's the whole mission of this weekend.
Just being here ready to learn and grow and come together like this is awesome.
What are those small changes that can make you better tomorrow than you were today?
All the amazing speakers we have here. Wow.